So these women are not as difficult as you make them out to be. Women are very easy to get. Very, um, you got to be a manager to maintain a sporadic woman. Women are very sporadic. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Women do a lot of stuff and then cover it up with I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They are sporadic. Um, only patriarch women, only patriarch women will pause, think about what they're about to say, think about what they're about to do. The other women are just very sporadic. Everything is about I assumed, I thought, it seemed like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Patriarch women don't do that stuff. Um, Women who really appreciate how hard guys have it, they're more um, theoretical and they're less feelings, you know. So a lot of times you're dealing with you as a guy are picking women who are very childish because you want to have sex with them. A lot of you guys out there are picking women who are straight out of high school, 22, 24, 26. You know she ain't grown up, but you up here like these they no, you picked the immature chick. That's just what it is. You have to learn to be. See, a lot of these videos I make about female interaction is really on you, the dude. You got to have the ability to walk away and laugh. The situation ain't for you, walk away and laugh. I tell guys all the time because so many guys are desperate for free sex. Free sex. You don't want to pay for sex. You feel like paying for sex is a bad thing. Listen to the stuff some of you guys say. You want the woman to have sex on the strength of you. Well, you want your ego stroked. I get that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you're putting too much investment in it because half of you are lying to get it. So it really ain't on the strength of you. Half of you are paying anyway. So it really ain't on the strength of you. That's just some fantasy you have in your head. My point is getting access to a lot of women, dealing with a lot of women can bore you. You can have so much sex where you're bored, where you're like, ugh, and you start to look for better conversations out of women. You start to, you got to get to the point where you're not stressing women. That's when you've mastered women. When you're not stressing them. When you're not stressing women, that's when you have mastered. Well, it's not so much Trick Nation. Matter of fact, let me give you a link. You probably at work, Jay Shah, but let me give you a link. It's not so much Trick Nation. It's the psychology of so many dudes. Come on up if you can, Jay Shah. So many dudes stress free sex to the point where they'll take any 20-year-old girl, 22-year-old girl, and then complain about the girl. That's insanity. You might as well go trick. You might as well go pay $40, $200. If what's going on with you psychologically is so stressing that you gotta lie, you gotta get angry, you gotta do all this stuff just to get this free sex. You really don't even want the girl. Half of these dudes don't even want the girl. They don't. They want the sex. And they want to feel like a man because of the sex and they don't want to pay. Okay, cool. I get it. So get to a point where the sex don't matter. That's my point. You got to get to the point where sex is not controlling your life as a man. That sex is third or fourth on your agenda. You got a lot of dudes where sex is the number one thing. Dude, I've seen dudes mess up jobs because of sex. You know, uh, but don't ever talk to an urban Asian woman, a urban Italian woman, a urban Chinese woman. Leave these urban women alone. These women have a low opinion of men. They done ran two or three dudes through the ringer. You gotta get a higher functioning woman. And even when you get a higher functioning woman, don't think this woman ain't gonna go left. All women go left. Your mother goes left. Your auntie goes left. They all go left. You got to understand, hey, look, this woman is here in my life for this reason and this reason, not this third reason, not this fourth reason. If you're Jay Sean and you got a company, and here's this woman, okay, this woman is there to introduce you to other business partners because she works in the field you don't work in. That's why that woman is there. This woman is here for the sake of children. That's why that woman is with. This woman is here because her family, her brother is connected to block. That's why that woman is with there. All the other stuff comes third, fourth, and fifth. You got guys, you got to get that through your head. All the other stuff, because when you put that third, fourth, and fifth stuff at the front of everything, now you're more likely going to have a dysfunctional woman. I want to hear from Jay Sean the Great. Welcome, man. Jay Sean the Great, somebody that I learned from. And look, I don't say that about a lot of people. I learned from two people on this whole YouTube experience: Future Society of Gentlemen and Jay Sean. Welcome, Jay Sean. How are you, sir?
I'm good, boss. How you doing?
Man, long time no here, man. I'm glad that you're doing good. The children are doing well. I'm
Man,
just
everything's
glad.
good. Everything's good, man. My daughter's doing good. She's turning out well. Business is doing good. Traveling, everything's good.
This is why I'm a Jay Sean fan. This is why. So educate me, man. Make sure you don't get my premise wrong. There's
Mm,
so many guys stressing free sex. Let me ask you this question because I want to
yeah.
get your viewpoint. Let's just throw mine out the gutter for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many guys trying to get free sex. I think that's what's messing them up. Is because when you look at tricking, let's just talk about it for a second.
Okay.
When you look at tricking, that's the guy who, on a street level, seems like he's the punk, he's the worst person. But that dude don't really care about that $40. He don't care about that $100 the way the street dude cares.
Right.
He's already back at work making 10,000, 30,000. He don't miss that $100. But his need to get that bad chick is over with for the week. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, look, it's all about what you. I think a lot of men got to really know what they're looking for, in life, and they really need to accept who they are. You got a lot of dudes out here, like you were saying a minute ago, they trying to get that ego fix when, you a square. So if you a square, live a square life, be happy, and then you fall in line where you're supposed to be. Because if you're going to go out here and try to, run around and bag these women or think you're going to run through these women, you're going to have to play the game. You're going to have to play the game. And, some dudes go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to leave my wallet, get to the point, give her what she want. I get what I want and I move on. That's cool. It's not for me, but I get it. But then you got some other brothers out here who lead with their wallet, and they put so much onus on getting the sex. They put it on the pedestal. If you get what I'm saying, and like it's the main thing that matters in life. Not getting money, not owning things, not having power. Um, Sex for women is really all they have. They don't
Yep.
really have no real power. Only women only have power through the men they attach themselves to, or the
Yep.
men they move up under. So, sex is really their game. So them drawing resources from you is the pinnacle for them. So you got to ask yourself, like, what are you participating in as a
Let
man?
me let me let me jump into something. So, guys like me, you, brother named Mike, we are like, we can put conversation in this woman's ear.
Right,
I can romance the ear off a chick without even lying, just on the presence of me.
right,
Now, that chick got one or two options. She's gonna jump in my fishing boat, or she's not. Because guess what?
hmm,
As a true wolf, I am eyeing three other turkeys in the event. I'm not solely sold here. We're
right,
gonna see what she do with the conversation that's coming out my mouth right now, with the laughter and the giggles that she's, partaking in, and wondering, why do I go Latin dancing? Okay, you got about 2 more minutes to decide if you're going to give me some type of eye connection or something to let me know this is something that I need to keep doing. If not, gobble, gobble, gobble. There's another turkey over there.
right,
I'm going to see what that. So, guys like you and I, we can do that without the money and without all the, because for us, it don't really matter.
right,
It's like when you said to the point, well, that's not for me. It's a talent to holler at women and not care. It's a talent to holler at women for practice.
yeah.
That's a level of the game a lot of dudes will never get.
Well, first of all,
Holler.
I mean,
Go ahead.
people
Go
like
ahead.
you and me, people like you and me know who we are. That's
Exactly.
the key, that's the key component to it. You got to know who you are, and if you're comfortable in your own skin and who you are, you just live in life. So when you go out, you just talk to people. I was on the phone. I was in Virginia 2 weeks ago on the way back, and I was on the phone with a sister, cupcaking, you know, um, you know, and while I'm talking to her, and I'm talking to this Italian dude. She hears me on the phone, just strike up a conversation with an Italian dude because I know who I am. I'm a very social person. I can start a conversation with anybody and get to the point. And I started the conversation by roasting him, and she was like, "What? What's going on here?" But I can tell what kind of person he is. See, now you know who you are. I know who I am. But then also we have something called experience, and in experience, you understand people. You understand there's certain types of people, and you know how to approach certain people. And it's the same thing with women. Women, there's certain types of women, and you can tell as soon as you start striking a conversation. Well, what kind of person she is, and then once you understand what kind of person she is, and you know who you are, and know how to talk to a woman, you can open up and find out what's going on with her. And that's where you get to the giggling and the laughing, and you know what I mean, and the comfortability, and then she starts feeling like a little girl again. Yeah, I mean, these are the things that we understand because we actually talk to the women. Now, the men who lead with their pocket, they never get the chance to even grow in that area because they're leading with their wallet. There's nothing wrong with crashing and burning. Like you said, if it ain't for you, she ain't biting. You move on to the next one. But there's some guys out here so afraid of rejection. For whatever reason, they take it so serious, and it's not.
Well, I don't think it's afraid of rejection. I think these guys have been winning in seventh and eighth grade, and they think that's supposed to translate to 25 and 30.
Oh, third, yeah, 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 it changes, yeah.
Yeah, they don't realize that, what it's the reason why. Well, let me ask you this. I don't want to pollute your answer.
Hmm.
Why do you think so many dudes glorify fresh out of high school chicks as if that's a victory?
Uh, you know what? I can only guess because I don't understand that mindset. You know, at a young age, I was never the type to put anybody on a pedestal. I've been what they call in this space red pilled since I was like 12. So, you know, but I think in our society we put women on such a pedestal, you know, and let's be honest, women's beauty is dangerous. All right, a lot of people can get caught up in women's beauty. You could take Russell Wilson for example. He always wanted a Sierra type chick.
But ain't she a four?
He always wanted that though. He always wanted to have that. He couldn't get it when he was in high school. Now he can get it. You understand? So he's still stuck in some type of emotional purgatory where, you know what I mean? Where, you know, and that's why she's able to bag him. Because the truth of the matter is a starting quarterback, which is a prestigious position in American society, right? From high school to college to the NFL, wouldn't usually pick a woman like her. You know what I
At
mean?
all.
At
At
all.
all.
You know what I mean? Because he understands his status, and you know what I'm saying. His status doesn't matter. His emotional purgatory is ruling him, and
Let,
that's why
let,
he
let,
don't give a damn what nobody thinks.
let me break her down for a second. Let's remove the fact she don't that she dances well.
Hmm.
Let's now make her a woman that can't really dance at all.
Right.
Where's her beauty? Where's the let's just take her face. Where's the attractiveness? She's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's all right. When
Yeah.
when she walks into the room,
Hmm.
right? Because I've been in a room in a music room with her. She doesn't walk elegant.
Right.
It's the same thing I used to tell dudes about Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige walks like a dude.
Yeah. I know, but when you, but the
Well,
problem with a
well,
lot of
well, hold
these
on, hold on,
dudes,
hold on, hold on, hold on. My point is,
yeah,
and this is when I was in New York, hanging out in New York. Like you, I see other stuff, unicorn stuff that these other dudes don't see.
right.
These other dudes get flabbergasted by a little bit of skin. I'm
Mhm.
like, I can make a chick. I could take that fat chick. Give me a year and a half. I'll bring that fat chick back around the block, and you'll be sweating her.
Right.
That's my talent. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the core, of who you are, you a leader, so you're gonna make something out of somebody. It's no different when you mentoring a boy or raising a child. You're gonna make something out of somebody. That's true leadership. That's manhood type stuff. But when you got brothers that are locked into emotional purgatory, who are still locked in high school, they just want the it girl. And in his mind, or some dudes' minds, Mary J. Blige is the it girl. She's the chick with the bamboo earrings, you know, the dope outfits. She got little status, you know, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's the same thing with Sierra. She was an it girl. So you can tell that's what because if he was smart, he would want a Savannah James. And he
Hmm.
would make her into what he would make a Savannah James into what he want. You know what I'm saying? If he was smart. If he was on some leadership shit. But you can tell he's on that high school stuff. You know, he's still locked into that most purgatory. Like you said, when these chicks come out of high school, they think they're the baddest things ever, and they just getting out the starting blocks. These young girls, they got no game, they got no know how. You know what I mean? They just young. you
You know,
know,
let's step into some romantic stuff for a second. I say to dudes all the time, if you're not smooth to some degree, if you don't have a lock on your maturity, if you don't, if that little boy in you is all over the place, women are going to amaze you.
right,
Women are going to stress you. I am so emotionally mature when it comes to dealing with women because I treat you well. And if you go out of pocket, I try to restructure you. You don't want to do with that. I laugh and walk away.
right,
Because I know that I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I'm not hitting you. I'm not calling you out your name. I'm not cheating on you. You got to
mhm,
win with me. But guess what? It comes with Seelaytray rules.
right,
It comes with rules.
right.
And if you don't respect this rule, shout out to D in the chat room. Wolf away. I ain't helping you.
Right.
I'm not trying to get you to understand. No, no, no. Gobble, gobble, gobble. There's another turkey on the block up the street. What are
Right.
your thoughts, Jay Sean?
That's that leadership. You know what I mean? That's that leadership right there. The funny thing about a lot of this is that what a lot of dudes don't understand, regardless of how you look, if a woman's not feeling you, the power dynamic shifts, right? If you want her more than she wants you, or you want her more than she wants to be around you, she wins. You know what I mean? Me and you both know. That's why I say tricking is not my thing. Because me and you both know when a chick is crazy for you or really rocking with you, she'll
Yeah,
pay you.
yeah,
She'll
yeah,
pay you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a, Man, when I was raising my daughter, man, every other weekend, she would go to her mother's house. Cause I had custody, right? So every other weekend, I was doing me. I had chicks come to my crib, and when they come to my crib, I'm a button hook this in a second. I'm gonna tell you what it really is. When they would come to my crib, I was like, yeah, stop by. I had them do 3 to 4 stops. You stop by, Chick-fil-A or Applebee's, get my food. You stop by the ABC, get me some yak or some wine. And then you stop by the Wawa and you pick up, some snacks and some condoms.
Yeah,
You understand me?
yeah.
And then you bring that to my house because you come to my house and I'm charging you. If you're gonna come, you're gonna pay me tribute because you know why? Women are lonely. They want the affection. They want man energy. They want the time with you. They want to lay on your chest after getting dug out.
There
See,
you go.
these are things that's just real. And the fact that when we talk about whore culture, and a lot of brothers talk about whore culture in this space, what you're really talking about is women who are addicted to sex. So if you know what her vice is, why are you not having luck with them?
There you go. Let me
You muted up.
the woman knows it's safe over there.
Yeah, she know what she want to be.
This is the reset. Over over CA's house is the reset button. Hey, Seelay.
She can feel like a girl again. You know what I mean? She can feel
Right,
like a little girl. She can, you know
right.
what I mean? She can lay down. It's actually you're giving her something way more valuable than the $80 and $100 she spent just to get to your house.
There you go.
All
I
right,
got it.
she's worth it.
I got two chicks out in Oregon, and they talking about flying out to San Francisco, and
Mhm.
I'm slow rolling it because for me it's about your mentality, your energy. We're gonna hold all these conversations even before you connect like that.
Yeah,
And like I just came from Portland, but I didn't let them know I was there. Right? Uh, I fly out. It's not a
right,
factor, but I'm always, to your point, going to make you work for this connection because for me, it's not that serious. For
right.
me, you have to show me why it should be more serious in my eyes. For me, I'm not mesmerized by the thighs and the titties. I'm used to it.
Right.
So, just to remix what you just said, guys have to get to a point where you winning is normal. And then you're not complaining about chicks. You're not
Mhm.
complaining about. I tell people all the time, there are guys look better than me, taller than me, all that type of stuff. Here's the difference. I don't care the way they care. I just don't.
Mhm.
So when I'm in there making my moves, I'm picking out the turkeys in this farm that work with my schedule. You are trying to get the IG chick. You are, and guess what? I can jump in that lane with you. But here's the
Right.
problem with you dudes. Like when I was at Dugan's in Atlanta, I walked in. I'm 5'10" and 5'10" and a half. I walk in with the 6'4" WNBA player who happens to be wearing 2-inch heels. Way taller than me, right?
Right.
The niggas who are taller than me, damn, how you get that? Y'all care too much.
Yeah.
Y'all, y'all. what made you say that out of you? I mean, I understand you trying to applaud me, which is what, man, I'm giving you dap, man. But I'm
Mm.
like, you giving me dap because you looking at the size and thinking, how did that happen? Half of these chicks who are taller are the loneliest chicks on the planet because they
Planet,
wait
yeah.
for,
They got big feet too. It's
right,
all, yeah,
because they waiting for you tall niggas, and you tall niggas is chasing the 4 foot chicks.
yeah, yeah. WNBA chicks be lonely. That's why they look on each other.
Right. Lonely as fuck.
Yeah,
You know, especially when you got the chicks who want to deal with some pipe, but
yeah.
they used to the goofy dudes. They used to the no,
Mhm.
sweetheart. When I need the legs open, I need them open. No, sweetheart. When I need to get topped off, I need to get topped off. Like you just said, and like I've said on other things, make her feel like a girl again. Go
Mhm.
ahead, Jay Shine, rock out.
Look, man, this situation that we seeing in America is crazy to me. I mean, we're not talking about HIV research. We're talking about full blown AIDS. We're talking about full blown whore culture. I mean, I'm from the '90s. If it was like this, it was crazy in the '90s. But if it was like this in the '90s, with these game goofy females, I'm getting to the bag. I'm a boss. They goofy. They all just mimicking each other. They have no game. You know, none.
Fox News.
No,
You
no,
know.
keep
So
going, keep going, keep
okay,
going.
I thought the stream
No,
dropped.
no, no, keep going.
Yeah. So they have no game. You know. So which is they're also creating a mirror and reflecting back to us as a group of men that a lot of black men out here don't have no game because you know what I'm saying it's a tuck it's a give and take. One
Mm,
affects the other. So when you have women out here who are game goofy, the reason why that is because usually you have men who are game goofy or don't have a code of conduct. You know, so when you have a group of men who have, it's like for instance, back in the '90s, we lived that, you know, fuck these hoes. You know what I mean?
right,
We
right.
lived it. You know what I mean? We were ruthless. You know what I'm saying? We didn't put no female over the crew.
Never.
Never. I mean, that's how we were born. So it's kind of like today. I notice like these women are like, like it's like when I'm walking around. I'm not even on the whole strip, but I might as well be because these women put their head down. They know I'm not nothing to play with. I'm
Look,
not a trick. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't even look me in my eye. You like, okay, he a real one. He ain't for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they just move on to the next cat they trying to get something out of because I ain't him. You know
look.
what I mean?
Even at work,
Yeah, it worked too. Yeah,
you
it's
you got to go to HR. The manager fucking with me. I'm not. I'm not the average dude that falls to your shit. I'm not
no.
the average dude who smiles and makes you feel okay. When you say
Yeah.
something inappropriate,
Mm-hmm.
I don't pop off, but I'm like, hold on, sweetheart, we don't talk about that. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. They were trying to get you caught up in their web. They be playing.
Right,
Yeah. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And cats be falling right into it. I'm like, God damn. Charlotte Web is undefeated in 2023.
Right, right. I had a chick one time ask me how much I get paid. I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? No, no, sweetheart. We don't have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
called her sweetheart on purpose because
Mhm.
see now you done violated and I done throw you this violation back.
Right.
So let's see what you do with that because
Right.
you know it's the craziest thing. Let me switch the navigation a little bit because you
Yeah.
brought up Game Goofy. Sierra, Stacy Dash.
Right.
I think what happens with daughters and nieces, they forget that they gotta get somewhere. They forget. Especially when you melanated and the age lines don't come in at a rapid space. You think you got 10, 15 years to just put your vagina on the crap table.
Mm.
And I look at Stacy Dash a lot. I was like, here's a chick who really her dad let her down. You know,
Mm.
the dad wanted to have a lot of Mexican sex. he bust a nut and then he left her to fend for herself. Right.
Damn. Yeah.
Worst thing is, and really he's a Belize. He's from Belize.
Right.
Worst thing is to leave a girl out there with nobody to give a 911 call to. The chick got to have a 911 call. Got to be able to call somebody. And so what has happened with Stacy is Stacy has been very opinionated, which is the curse of women in general. You, I think black people are supposed to have theories. You as a person that's hanging around very mathematical and military type of mindsets, you understand opinions and feelings get people killed. You got to have some tactical, theoretical information. I think a lot of times women are lacking in that. And when I look
Right.
at Stacey Dash, I'm like, you started off your career one way. What
Mm-hmm.
you should have immediately did if you had leadership was go get with somebody that's a director, that's a somebody with a level of the game to keep you safe and protected. Then you needed to get redirected to specific movies,
Mm-hmm.
specific stage presentation. I don't care if somebody in Utah would have paid you $100,000 for 4 months of a theater work. You needed somebody to calm yourself down, but you didn't. And because your dad left you out there, you just got out there. You
Right.
just got out there, just random. No, if you look at everything Stacey Dash has done from the Clueless movie up until now, it's nothing. Nothing. Wasted time, wasted beauty. And then this last white man reminded you, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
my kids are more important than this black twat I'm fucking. You got
Yeah.
this confused. And now you back realizing now. Now you 50, damn near 55. Realizing now. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Ladies, it's not difficult. Go get somewhere. What are your thoughts, Sean?
Uh, she made one of the biggest mistakes that most people make in the world, especially swirlers. Swirlers make this mistake all the time. They're not understanding. See, they looking at it from an emotional standpoint. I'm beautiful. I'm feeling myself. I'm this. I deserve this. I can get this. I'm a bad chick. And let's not get it twisted. In her prime, Stacey Dash was a fine motherfucker. All right. But her problem is there's a lot of what she doesn't understand that just because she's an actress, she thought that gave her some type of edge. The truth of the matter is, all those fine women who don't have careers are the ones who get wifed up by them white boys. See,
Hmm.
she didn't understand that when she became famous, she became an item to be passed around. She became arm candy. And this is the biggest mistake that swirlers make. Some guys make this mistake in business too. You know how you got those brothers who think they white and they think they down with the whites, and they get into business and they find themselves on the island and getting marginalized. When you step into that world, you're a small fish stepping into a real big pond. Matter of fact, you're not stepping into a big pond, you're stepping into a big ocean. They don't understand the power dynamics of the situation when you step out into the dominant society. That's why most people who are successful have a tight clique, a tight circle, and and that circle is the ones they have with them for years.
Exactly.
From you can look from LeBron to Donald Trump, the same people that have been with him for Donald Trump situation. People have been with 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I mean? LeBron, people have been with him since he started, his basketball career, from his neighborhood. It's the same, it's a tight circle. You look at even people who are successful in music, whether it's Jay-Z, he got his circle, you know what I mean, around him. And there's no new friends.
DiCaprio.
All of them, right? So when you look
Right.
at successful people, it's the same thing over and over again. Um, she didn't have that. She was out there, like you said, by herself in a very big ocean, and she got passed around because she was arm candy. And the funny thing is, I did a video when she got arrested. She got arrested, man. This is how bad it got. She got arrested off the white man's daughter situation.
Right,
It's
right, right.
living in some apartment in Florida that was equivalent to what I was living at as a single dad. Me and my daughter was living in luxury apartments in Virginia. And I did a live stream on it. And I showed where she was living versus where I was living. So all of that fame, and look where she ended up at. She ended up where
Mm.
she ended up in the same place I was. I'm living in the house at the time, right? I'm living in my own house at the time, and but right before I bought that house, I was living in a luxury apartment. So back in 2016, 2015, this is where I was, and look at how she is, and she's supposed to be world famous. You see what I'm saying? That people don't understand power dynamics and what it really matters, because the women, the richest women, the most powerful women in the game, you don't know them. You
Hmm.
wouldn't even know if they passed you in the supermarket. They're attached to some of the most powerful men, married to them, got half their wealth at the snap of a finger.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? If Jeff Bezos didn't want to be a private, if he wanted to be a private person, you wouldn't know who his wife was.
You wouldn't know it all.
You wouldn't know what she looked like. The only reason we even know who she is because he became a public person.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be a private billionaire that you don't know, I mean, you wouldn't know anything about it. Like the guy that owns Clarence Thomas, his white daddy. We only know who he is now because of the scandal. We still don't know who his
Mm.
wife is because
Mm.
these are billionaires who live private lives. You don't know these people, but they're very powerful people. See, power moves quietly, silently, and that's what a lot of people are not stressing for. She fucked up by not letting her beauty become her instrument to power.
We are joined by Man of Tomorrow. MOT, how are you, sir?
I'm
You
doing all right, man. Yourself?
doing
MOT,
well. Doing well.
What's going
Doing
on?
well.
What's going on, Jay Shine?
You
what's
know
up,
I
the
brother?
mean, man.
the topic here is about the urban woman mindset, the
Yeah.
Sierra urban mindset, the Stacy urban mindset. I don't care if it's an urban Asian chick or an urban Jewish chick. I think dudes have to stop interacting with these volatile mentality chicks, regardless of age. If you got an urban mentality, you are undisciplined. You don't have mouth control. What are your thoughts, MOT?
My thoughts on that is I repeatedly stayed away from these type of individuals at all times. Because if you let too much of this stuff seep in, you can't really make power moves around actual people. Because you're going to take the way you normally act around people who normally would never even regard this type of behavior. And that's where a lot of people kind of mess up at because they want to keep that kind of thing alive inside of them about being undisciplined. But you won't be able to have this undisciplined thing in every area. And they think the undisciplinedness and the inability to act a certain way around certain people is an actual feature. It's not a feature when you go to every other culture. And this person shouldn't even ended up in this situation. But you have to deliberately stay away from, not listen to the complaints of any of these people with this type of mind state. And you have to deliberately wake up saying, it doesn't matter whether I want to believe it. I don't want to believe I could trust people like this. I've already deleted that portion of my brain out to where I'm going to trust people who move a certain way. And a lot of people think that it's part and parcel of the quote unquote culture to keep these type of personnel around. I don't believe that.
So here's my next example: urban white chick. She's a 4 at best, maybe even a 3. Okay. She is not appealing even when she's undressed. Yet we got a bunch of brothers that will pedestalize these chicks simply because she's putting the sexuality at the forefront. This chick could be 50 years old with a wig. He'll fall for it. This chick could be not even a chick, could be a freaking man. He'll fall for it. These, I'm gonna go to Jay Sean with this question. You gotta be in control of your need to have sex as a dude. You cannot. MOT just spoke about power moves. You cannot be caught up. And no, nobody's perfect. Even myself, when I was 20, 25, I was caught up and said, but golly, when you get into this 28, 30 realm, You got to really master this type of stuff. You cannot let basic women control your life.
Right.
Jay Shine, what are your thoughts?
I say this all the time, and I think it flies over people's heads because it's kind of trivial, but it's actually it impacted me in a young age. I know y'all guys remember the Gin and Juice video from Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg,
yeah.
right? There was an important scene in the beginning of the video that it stuck with me the rest of my
Talk about the
life.
beer. You talk about the beer.
No, no, not the beer part, not the
Oh,
beer. Not when they squeeze the beer on the chick. No, that's I think that's a different video. But the Gin and Juice video when he was a homeboy alone and he started calling the homies because he got the house to himself. And one of his brothers, one of his homies, was in the bed with a chick having sex. And as soon as the phone rang, and it was his boy. He had to leave. He didn't finish the endeavor. He threw her off of him. Why? Because sex is just entertainment. I gotta go. We gotta cut this short. That moment impacted me. You know what I mean? Because most dudes are so thirsty that they'll lose money over sex. They'll lose opportunities over
hell
sex.
no.
You know what I mean? Sex is just look, if you're not having sex with your wife that you love and you've been down with for 10, 15 years, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Is life is, business is life and life is business. I always say that because there's a discipline that goes along with that. Everything is transactional. Even right now, us on this live stream is transactional. We're exchanging our time and ideas with each other. That's how I look at everything. So when it comes to women, you know, there's no, I don't care how bad she is. I never put them on a pill. I don't care. She could be from Brazil. She could be from Estonia. When I get in the bathroom, I might rub my hands like, ooh, wee. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? But out in public, it's
Oh no.
business as usual.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lack of discipline with the current state of black men today. Where they pedestalize sex and panani and even it's so bad to the point, and I'm gonna shut up on this point. It's so bad right now that black men or even men in general are judging each other as men. We're gauging each other based on how much ass we get. You know what I'm saying? I don't gauge either you brothers on this panel by how much ass you get. I don't care if MOT is married and had sex with one woman for the last 5 years, or if you research has been with 20 women in the last 2 months. It doesn't matter to me. That's your penis situation. What I care about is what you guys are doing in business. What you
Right.
guys matter, your productivity. What you matter to the greater, community of black men. Can you help anybody? Can you put anybody on? Can you lead anything? Do you know anything? Do you have any experience? These are things that I gauge men by. I don't gauge men by how much ass they getting. So when you look at a lot of these channels out here that you see in the so-called manosphere, where these guys are giving out advice and trying to teach men how to pick up women and all that kind of stuff. That means now you just telling these men what to aim for in life. You know what I mean? We're not talking business. We're not talking about anything that's going to get us actual power. And if you know anything about power, women come with it.
Oh yeah. And they come number fourth or number fifth because they smell what we're doing. Why is it can get the ugliest guy in power can get the most women knocking at his door and calling on his phone? And then here come some of these brothers. Well, she don't want him for him. It don't matter. She's coming, and it's his priority to not be fooled that she there for him. Okay, you here. Is your cousin coming with you? Is your girlfriend coming with you? Okay, holla at me tomorrow. See if they gonna come. You dudes care too much, man. I just swear, man. Dudes care too much. I'm gonna protect a woman who's down with my program. I'm not gonna protect a woman who wants to be out there. Sweetheart, you want to be out there? I get you. I get you. Now open your mouth. I, I, I don't care. And it's not because I want to hurt the girl or I feel demonstrative. No, you want to be out there. Great. I know who you are. Now you need to understand who I am. Well, I got to open my mouth. See, sweetheart, you asking me questions. This is not for you. Go ahead and jump on this Uber. and go ahead and back to wherever you're going. I mean, I didn't say I didn't want to. Nah, because now you done set the whole motion as if we not. I don't want to have to convince you, sweetheart. Let's just reset. You go ahead and go. I don't care, man. Seelay, that bitch was bad. You could. I don't care like you do. I don't. And this, I haven't had an argument with a chick since 2005. You know why? I laugh and walk away. There's another turkey, gobble, 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 right up the street. Y'all be, you dudes out there be making it like this stuff is difficult. This is why I'm not mad at women. I told this to MOT years ago. I don't get mad at women because women don't really matter. And for me, what's wrong with the manosphere is every week, women, women, women. Next week, women, women, women. 15 years later, join me, brothers, in the circle in the church of talking about women. Yes, all those things are true that you're saying. Yes. But now it's become an addiction. Now your son don't have a company. Now your son don't have connections. Right. Now your nephew can't come to you because you still focus on these chicks won't change. MOT, where did I get it wrong, brother?
You didn't. Like I'm pretty much cleared my circle of people who want to get in contact with their inner bitch to actually figure out why a woman chose a dude like years ago. Like I judge men harshly on how they deal with women. You know, I'm in the defense industry. You know, these wives are the baddest of the bad. A lot of people mistake true feminine women as she just trying to choose up on them. And a lot of people don't understand that you got to turn that off, dude. But like a lot of people can't turn it off because they so defined by thinking that they run this actual female who have way more power than them in this environment. So I'm just like, look, the moment you just separate yourself from all of that and specifically raise your level and standard of barrier, so that way when you detect this type of behavior, you're very intolerant of it. You don't want it around you, and you're unwilling to actually do business with it. So I understand that people think that there's going to be this large group of people that you're going to deal with. That's not true. It's going to be a small group of people that you deal with, and the more you enlarge in this circle, the less control you have over it. Right. So you might as well have an operational system with actual things in place with like-minded people, because like-minded people will keep you a hell of a lot safer than just people alone.
It's facts. It's facts. You know, that's what I was just saying a minute ago, MOT. You know, the most successful people, when you look at them, you know, no matter what their background is, you know, they've had the same people with them since the beginning. You know, and every now and then, you know, if they got the wrong people with them, they get rid of them and they get new people. You know, and you know, and but that circle, even with the circle they started out with, even if it was small, as life goes on, it gets smaller. It gets more streamlined. You know, because the truth of the matter is, if we have success anyway, everybody should be branching out and doing their own thing anyway. You know, that's really when you have a real successful circle. That's why no matter if I disagree with sometimes with some of the things LeBron might put on, you know, Instagram, whatever, that's his opinion. But as a man, that whole crew, I respect it.
Oh man,
never how they
never
move.
Seen before. Never seen before.
Never seen before, and everybody overlooks it, and I don't know why. It's very important. Fuck what he did on the basketball court. What he did with Mav and Rich Paul and those guys, what they done,
never seen before.
It's been remarkable. You know, and everybody's their own king on their own hill right now. When I watched that show in the shop and I saw Gavin Newsom come up there, you know, he was catering. He was, you know, catering to, you know, to black people with the sports bill. He signed the college, you know, I forgot the name of that bill that he was making it legal for athletes to use it, you know, to get money, get paid for their likeness. And he signed it on the shop. And I remember on that show when Mav kept cutting the governor off, man, I loved it. He was talking to the governor like he was a little. I loved it.
You gotta give him that work because
I was like, man, these brothers here are phenomenal.
You got
You
to
know,
give them that work because here's the thing. This is why I didn't like when Charlemagne was talking to government officials. I need people who are well versed on a conversation, well versed on a topic, talking to heads of state. I don't need a person that's just happy to be there. I don't need that. If I go on Bill Maher, I've been trying to politic to get on Bill Maher's show, at least in the audience, right? If I ever get on Bill Maher, I don't hate Bill Maher. I'm not trying to be combat, but I got to give Bill Maher that work for the culture. I got to do it for the culture, not because I want to, not because I want. No, 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 no. For the culture, I got to do it. Recently, well, I'm gonna talk about this first. Um, Shahrazad Ali was talking manosphere stuff way before there was a manosphere, way before there was a white manosphere. Shout out to the brothers in England who did the original manosphere. Here's the thing that we got to understand about our culture. Even our women are running away from schooling our women. Let's get into this part. We're going to start with MOT. Even our women are running away from schooling our women because what I have realized, MOT, and I've said this for years, is too many black men trying to help women. That's why women act the way they do. Women did not get a lot of this stuff on their own. It was an uncle, it was a brother-in-law, it was a dude who was just raised to put women first. But now more and more dudes are thinking of themselves, thinking of their boys, thinking of their sons, their nephews. And for the first time, Shahrazad Ali book is actually coming true. Stop helping women so much. What are your thoughts, MOT? Then we'll go to Jay Sean.
I mean, my thoughts is it's very true. Like my mother couldn't help my oldest sister. Like before my dad had died and we lived out in the country, it was a different situation of how she acted. But the moment she got around all these options and choices, she started not to know how to act, and my mother just pulled back. You're a grown woman now. You're 17. You choose what you choose, and your outcomes is what your outcomes is. And she decided to kind of pull it back because she thought that somebody was just going to keep fighting with her about her actual outcome, without realizing that your outcomes is yours. My mother was very clear and firm about not going out here and fighting the woman's battles for her. It's on her to choose properly. And if you cannot choose properly, then you shall not have any type of protection from any type of man. But you had the Bravo Alpha November who came to my sister's aid all the time because of beauty. And, you know, Mississippi, women are rare to come by. Even good looking women are even rarer to come by. Yeah, completely ruined her life. But at the end of the day, my mother had to tell her how these things was going to actually turn out. And she had to step aside and let her take the fall and never try to help her out of it. My mother had to do that. She didn't like it. But at the end of the day, she wasn't going to spend the rest of her life fighting another woman's battles because she don't know how to
Hmm.
choose properly.
What I tell women all the time, because I've had a couple of white women come and be like, I've heard you speak. Tell me, how do I get a successful black man? I've literally had white chicks come, and I say, look, here's the number one thing: you got to learn his culture. You got to learn him and his family dynamic, because half the time he don't even know the shit. I had a white woman from Canada tell me that she likes very alpha men, and she liked my whole vibe. And she and I was talking. She was like, I've been around African dudes that I'm more alpha than them. That is insane. But it makes sense because we got too many dudes that just are having sex and they not really leading. Jay Sean, what are your thoughts, man?
you know, just matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna let what MOT said stand on its own, because what he just laid out was a real good, story. Um, I try. I'm trying to be political here, man, because I want to. If anybody hear what I got to say, I want them to not take what I'm saying the wrong way, right? You want people to learn and grow from your commentary. You want it to, you know, to be productive and constructive. But let's just be honest. We got a lot of broken men out here right now, and I really don't know how to fix them. I don't know. I don't know if we can fix them. We got a lot of broken men out here right now who pedestalize sex and they idolize women without even realizing they're idolizing women. Because if you're talking about somebody every day, and they organizing, even if they're doing bad stuff with their politics, they're still doing it. They still handling their business. And I'm trying to figure out when the brothers are going to get a business mindset and start handling their business. Because the stuff I've been really out of the space for a while. But every time I dip in, this is crazy stuff. I go to Black Brain Trust, I'm hearing crazy stuff. I go to MOT's channel, I'm hearing crazy stuff. It's nuts out here in the manosphere. The way that some of these guys think and the way they talk and the things they're focused on. We don't have to agree with each other on everything. That's part of being men. Men are supposed to have their own mind. We're not supposed to be in lockstep with each other. That's part of having some autonomy and some freedom is part of being a man. But we should have a code of conduct and understand the business of things. And right now, I just see I hate to say it, to quote some of these women, these hoes are winning. These hoes are winning out here. They got a lot of productive simps, and they cashing in on a lot of productive simps right now.
Yep.
And it's like, to me, it's clear as day. I don't even see how you can even attach yourself to a Sierra. I don't even see. I can't. I don't understand how Steve Harvey can't even see Marjorie coming. You can see her coming. She's not even a hard one to pick off. You can see what she's about. You know what I mean? But they're doing it. They're falling in line and handing these women millions of dollars. And so that's going to encourage these other women, like you said a minute ago, Mr. Research. I can't be mad at the women. If you see, what I'm saying, this kind of nonsense going on out here, and you a silly, your game goofy hoe, what you gonna do? You gonna follow them. You gonna follow them. You see the girls out here, pushing sex and pushing ratchetness, and they're making all kinds of money, or at least for some of them, it looks like they're making a lot of money, but some of them are making money. So what can you say about? What can you say to that? What can you say to that? You can't look at them and tell them be a good girl. But I do tell you this though, when you have dominion over something like I have over my daughter, I've taught my daughter to be a square, like live a clean life, because I show her the outcomes that don't show you. I show her what happens to a lot of these women when they do fall off. I show them the outcomes of the Stacey Dashes or some of these women you see on reality TV shows. And it don't end well for some of them. So you want to be cool, get your little career, find you a good dude, be a good wife, and be a good mother. That's the goal in life. It's safe, it's calm, it's painless. You know what I mean? Because these women go through a lot of shit being the hoes that they are. You know what I mean? So, but as far as the men are concerned, I don't know what to tell them. I really don't know. I mean, you can talk to them blue in the face, Mr. Research, and tell them like, look, this is the game, this is how things work. But if what they want is sex more than anything else, then I don't know. Tell them. I had this debate with Edwin Anderson one time, and you know what? I'm gonna give Edwin Anderson props. He was right about one thing, and I have vast disagreements with Edwin Anderson, but he was right about one thing. He said when you kick that shit to some of these brothers, they say what they say back to you is this: I'm getting buns though.
Yeah.
And I don't have a comeback for that.
Hey, look, let me interject, because here's the problem. And this is why I put evil Simone Sanders up here. The whole I'm getting sex though conversation for me. And I know MOT don't agree with it. Jay, you said you don't agree with it. My point is this. Black men are the only ones who get upset over tricking. Okay? For me, if getting buns is so important, I would rather for you to go trick and get back to work, get back to your corporation, get back to your business, rather than have your mind so caught up
Yeah.
in free vagina to where now free vagina is running you.
Mm-hmm.
That part I don't understand.
And the funny thing is, you're paying for it anyway.
And you're paying for it anyway.
So you
And,
might
and,
as well make a business. Yeah, you
and,
might as well make a transactional.
and I look at it like this. You up here trying to pipe the chick at your job?
Can't
Huh?
resist. Can't resist her.
Can you go to the happy ending Asian spa for $40 and get your rocks off and stop? What are you doing?
Yeah, like the owner of the Patriots, right?
You sitting up here, you own a company and you trying to fuck your secretary? What?
Stupid.
Are you serious? Man, go pay that $200 and go to the orgy next month. You are tripping. That's the part I don't understand. But then I'll hear a black man, yeah, man, but that's simp shit. Okay, cool. That's simp shit for you. You don't move like that. Great. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this dude over here who seemed like I never forget, there was a Spanish dude in 2002. He had been working at that company for like 6 years. All of a sudden, Spanish chick came to work there. He's probably the only guy there, right? Maybe it's probably like 8 guys at the whole fucking company. They love the hell out this Spanish dude. He dressed with suit and tie, all that good shit, right? Chick come work there. He started piping the chick. First time we've ever done it in 6 years, right? Piping the chick. And him and the chick break up. That chick started having smoke breaks with other women. That chick started having lunch with other women. Next thing you know, in 6 months, his name is Mud. They fired this dude. And I saw him in the parking lot with his little box. He was like, man, yeah, they did. I said, bro, why would you not just go get an escort? He said, I know. I think so. Looking back on it, man, I said, bro,
They wanted to earn the consequences. They wanted to earn the consequences. They did not want to control the actual aspect of the situation. They wanted to outsource the control of the situation to her. And that's why
hold on, dig into that. To her, the to her part.
Because since these people are so caught up on being chosen, she is their leader. She is their leader. And at the end of the day, they want her to be in a beneficial role above them, to where they want to do everything that's based on her schedule. And at the end of the day, I tell people all day, if you want to have an honest conversation with me about tricking, you will lose. You will lose. You will lose, because at least the guy who's paying to play is walking away with the ass 100% of the time. The people who walk around with these intentions and game, they don't get the ass nearly 0% of the time. Remember, I used to own a strip club. I know who pays for them drinks. It's not the guys with the inexperience. It's the guys who claim that they got game and the dudes who's buying all the alcohol in the place for random ass women, and they go home with other dudes. I mean, it's very. I mean, the 80-20 rule is the actual opposite. People know not to buy drinks for women that they are not qualified for. Dudes who think they have game, it's quite the opposite. They will buy a drink for a chick in a heartbeat, but complain about other dudes about tricking. And this is because they respect a woman's opinion so much that they don't want to operate outside of her complete control over the situation. And those are men you got to stay away from. You have to stay away from.
So somebody sent a message, and let me clear it up. I'm an international dude. I've been traveling since 91. I left home at 17. All right. When I got over to Europe and saw how everybody's fucking, how sex really don't matter to these fucking Europeans. These Europeans at the time I was traveling before the internet, a lot of these motherfuckers fucking with animals. Real shit.
Yeah.
So this sex shit ain't what you think it is. I come back to America I'm already pimp tight. But I come back to America and I'm really on one now because I've been in the fucking Romanian club and the Chesnian club getting sucked off. Wow, that's when I start falling in love with trance music. I'm getting head on the dance floor, a couple of other dudes getting head on the dance floor, everybody walking around like they don't see shit. This is fucking normal, right? I come back to America, motherfuckers like, oh wow. And when that happened, I said, oh shit. Motherfuckers here are amazed by sex. And that made me want to not be around those type of dudes even more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been to orgies. I've been, and we ain't talking about when I went to Europe. I mean, in America, before I even went, I've been to orgies. I've sold drugs. I had a lot of money. I used to go to the orgies when I was 17. Fucking older women. Guess what? I don't care about sex the way some of the other people care about sex. And I'm going to put together what MOT and Jay Sean just said in my way. There's a lot of dudes where sex is their crack cocaine. It makes them feel like a man. And going back to what Jay Sean said when he first came up on stage, some of us are already defined as men. Some of us already know who we are. We don't have to justify nothing. And we're not the ones that are the angriest. That's what the whole point of this video is.
Mm.
Don't get so fucking angry every week. It's been 15 years and some motherfuckers, y'all still trying to, when am I going to group together with the other brothers and talk about these women again? Female nature, feminism. Yeah, you got a point, but you do realize you're on video number 2,467, right? And you ain't mentioned your son, your nephew, business. We got a YouTuber that wanted to start a business. You know me, I don't call people names. But he wanted to start a business. It's an industry that he's been exposed to. All the people over there in that certain part of the Manosphere, 200 plus thousand people, y'all can't get no more than $3,000 donation for that brother? For his business? What are we doing?
And and that's one thing, Ms. Research. That's what really turned my stomach with the space. I don't respect the space anymore. It's not because I don't respect the concept of it, but when black men show me that they can't even do that, I could have gave that brother the money myself. Now, of course, I would need a piece of his company, but the point is, you can't raise that kind of money. That's nothing. Everything takes money. This is business. You can't be serious about the things you talk about if you're not going to organize, and usually organize funds. If you're not putting money down on something, I've said this many times on panels, kind of poking at the brothers, and I ask the same question all the time: how many brothers you think is in the Manosphere total? Overlapping over the channels. And I say, look, there's no wrong answer. Whatever you think it is, it could be 40,000 men, 10,000 men, whatever you think it is. And I'm going to go to the lowest number. If you say 10,000 men, I'm going to say, okay, do you think, could you imagine for 6-7 years, 10,000 Arabs in the same space and not building no companies? Could you imagine 10,000 Hispanics in the same space for 5, 6, 7 years and not building no companies? What about Chinese men? What about, we're not even going to talk about Jews. We already know the answer to that. See, when that happened, that to me was like one of those moments where I can't even give the certain dudes in the space a chance anymore. I can't even take you serious. Y'all can't. $27,000? You fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? So things like that stop me dead in my tracks. And it's not about the brother who owned the company. It's about the space.
Yeah.
It's about the brothers in the space. Like, you can't, that is real to me. I can't unsee that. I cannot see that. All right.
Well, that's why I'm going to call myself the president. Started in July, start to change some things and take this out of the hands of these people. You know what? If you want to be that, then you can be that without the name the Black Manosphere Associate.
That's true.
But this is going to be something else, something greater, something better. Only thing you have to do is take women off the table. And the dudes who
Totally.
cannot focus because of the women, they'll leave when the name changes. They'll leave when the association changes.
That's right.
And only thing you have to do is just keep it on substance. If you can't keep it on substance, if you ain't got nothing business minded going on, I could go to the black church. As an atheist, I can go to the black church. And I still have always went to the black church because it's an institution that needs to be rebuilt everywhere. Because it's an institution that need to be having control, having products and programs in the hands of these boys with these phones in their hands. They should be looking at content about how to do things with their lives, man. And that's power right there. A lot of people want the government to come in. It's like, dude, if we can create live streams, we can create products for these boys. ChatGPT is here. There's no reason to keep depending on the government to keep doing the primary educational process for you. At this point, we got too much power over that.
CRT online. CRT. I don't even need to have a CRT at no public education forum. No.
Not at all.
Run the shit online and put some incentive. Hey, if you can get a little white boy to watch with you, we'll send you XYZ. I mean, if I really want to piss people off, if I really want to piss people off, let me move the goalpost. So what I was trying to say is, these women were asking me, how did they get a brother? And I want to end this live stream on this note because we here at an hour now. I try not to do too much more than an hour. But here's my advice to women. Whether it's MOT, Jay Shine, a brother like me, you got to put in a lot of work. So you might have to get one of the other two brothers that's on the panel. Maybe they're easier. I am very hard on women because I work around women. Here's the number one thing I'm going to say about me, and then we'll pass it to Jay Shine and MOT. If you ladies out there want a career-minded man, you're going to have to understand his industry that he's operating in and the cultural makeup that he comes from. Okay? And I'm not talking about his mom and his brothers. I'm talking about what made him who he is. Because as you go through the years with this guy, you're going to have to draw on those two things in my professional view. Shout out to D Darrell in the house, the brother that had me tighten up on my certifications. Thank you, brother. I'm making $200 an hour now. Appreciate you for doing that. I think women, you have to go after the dudes who have a track record. I said this to MOT years ago about just men in general. Women finding good black men is really not that difficult. The issue is you don't know his industry. And you don't. This is what one of the white women said actually too, because when I brought up industry, she said, "Oh yeah, you're supposed to pay attention to that." You got to know the guy's industry. You got to know his makeup as a man. And I'm gonna end by saying, let's go to MOT first, and then we'll end with Jay Shine. I say to you, ladies, stay away from the low class behavior. Some of you ladies, you want these low class dudes to be men of standard. What I don't get. I don't even play basketball with certain dudes who got certain behaviors. I don't care if he make all the shots in the gym. I don't want him on my team because he's an asshole. Low class behavior. You ladies are just really thin. MOT, what are your thoughts? How can ladies get a more defined upscale man like MOT?
I think it's easier than they think it is, but they have to break a whole lot of cultural conditioning to actually care about the outcome. Like like my woman's more invested in the outcome than I am, and I thought I was invested in my outcome. Their parents are invested in the outcome it, because she knows what the plan is. But like a lot of people have this idea of let me get a man that my homegirl's gonna respect and like, not man, not get me a man that I'm gonna be able to work with to his actual end goal and conclusion. Like a lot of these women got to let go of the actual restrictions of the homegirl's opinion about men and care about the outcome that they're trying to produce with that man. Once you change that mind state, once you stop going into those places, once you start upping your actual profile about what you're willing and will not put up with, everything changes with it. So I think it's pretty easy because a lot of dudes just want basically that and only that. So if you make yourself already an object of what they already want, it's really not even that hard. But that's just me. But trying to do it the other way, I've never seen it done to completion that actually worked out for a longer term conclusion. Because I care about long term conclusions, outcomes, and track records, especially cultural ones. So,
And on my other platform, my Facebook platform, I just got a message. What about if he cheats? Ladies, understand. Any human being, you got women that'll cheat on men. Okay. You simply have to do this. Hey, husband, boyfriend, here's what happens if you cheat. Ain't gonna be no long argument. I'm out.
that's all.
That's all. You let a dude know that it ain't gonna be no get back in the good graces. You always got an extra $500 to move out on command. You let a dude know that, you're gonna have one or two things happen. He gonna be like, "Hey, look, this ain't gonna work for me," or the dude is gonna be in line. It's not rocket science. You ladies want to try to control these dudes. You cannot control. I can't control the dude I play basketball with. All I got to understand is he a good teammate or not? Maybe I need to. You know what? I have won basketball games with dudes, and then I sit out just to get off of his team. Then I get next, and pick up a whole different team. It be like that. So stop trying to control these dudes as if dudes have to be this perfect. Even women ain't. You know how many women cheat on their husbands? Come on, ladies, y'all don't ask me those type of questions, man. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, D. Durrell, he might give you the soft clinical version. I'm gonna be extremely honest. Jay Shine, how does the woman get with a decorated gentleman like yourself?
Stop being a fucking weirdo. You know, this is weird shit I'm seeing out here. You know, y'all here, you're a female, you're an accountant, you're a government worker, you are a nurse, some of y'all are doctors and stuff, and therapists. And you're a bunch of weirdos. Y'all here listening to Ice Spice and following City Girls. Man, could you imagine the three of us out here following NBA YoungBoy? It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Stop being a weirdo. Grow up and stop being a weirdo. All right, this is not a game. Don't throw your life away. I'm glad you brought up Stacey Dash earlier. That's a waste. That was a clear case study of wasting, of a waste of life, especially for a gorgeous woman like her. Stop wasting yourself, especially if you got the job as a mother. Stop being a weirdo. That's weird to me. I understand how people overlook that shit. That shit is weird to me. Every time I see professional women listening to ratchet music or watching, Love and Hip Hop, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You weird. You a weirdo. Stop being a weirdo. Grow up. That's the first thing. And then study women who are successful. Study what you want to be. Because if you do get in a relationship with a brother like me, I'm gonna see who you are. I'm not a tender dick nigga. You can't win me over with sex. I don't care how good you throwing it. When you show me your teeth and you show me who you really are, I'll K-camp you. I'll cut you off without blinking the eye. And there's no phone call. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I'll change. No, you're not. Because brothers like me see things for what they are. I don't have time to play around. I'm not going to risk my life, my health, attaching myself to the wrong type of female. So you got to understand that when you're dealing with men, first of all, you got to take men. All right, so 3 things. Stop being a weirdo. Take men more seriously. Stop taking men for play. Men are not toys. And if you want to make men into toys, then you're part of the destruction of your own community, your own society. Men, don't drill us down to that. If you're going to be with a man, you're supposed to be a helpmeet, uplift him, make sure you're on task, and support him in his endeavors. Stop playing with us. And the third thing is find the examples of successful women who have successful men. Watch how Savannah James moves. Look how Chris Paul's wife moves. There's plenty of examples out there from the 80s to the 90s to now of women who know how to move and know how to support their husbands and be with successful men. That's what you look at. But if you want to look at Gorilla as your example, you're a goddamn weirdo. And I ain't got nothing for you but hard dick and bubble gum. That's all the advice I have for the sisters. Most of my advice and my energy is for these dudes. But for the women already know the game. They know the deal. The problem is our society is not giving them any real consequences until later in life. So they get to play as long as they want. But I would just say those 3 things. Stop being a weirdo. All right. Take men seriously. All right. And then find the examples of successful wives and follow that.
And I'm going to end by saying this. Sex is easy to get. You look at the screen right now. You got women out here going under the knife, getting surgeries. Yeah, you women, y'all got to understand, there are women out here competing. And I'm not talking about that they're going to win, because the flat-chested, flat-booty woman with a brain, sometimes a lot of times she gets to outmaneuver these surgically enhanced chicks. Okay?
Easily.
Y'all got to understand the sexiest thing on the planet for men like Jay Shine, Man of Tomorrow, myself, the woman that can go into a event, walk away from me while I'm talking to some gentlemen about something, and go through the whole event maneuvering with other wives, getting information for our household, bringing information back over to her husband. Yeah, Sarah just said blah, blah, blah. You might want to go talk to Tom. That shit is way better than this bullshit you see on the screen. That makes you want to take your woman home and fuck her very hard. A woman with a brain. Now, a lot of dudes out there are not able to grasp this. I get it. And because of that, a lot of dudes, they make it bad on the image for the rest of us brothers, because they make it appear as if all we want is this crap that's on the screen. But that's $5,000, $10,000. Anybody can get that. Getting women who have a patriarch, I'm all about my son, I'm all about my husband mindset. Only men of class can understand that. Only career men can understand that. Make sure you guys check out my High Value Career Men show. I'm going to start having more women on, only because women are asking me certain things behind the scenes, and I'm going to start bringing them to the forefront just so you guys can really absorb it. Also, check out some of the stuff you heard today, because it's not bashing women. It's not even bashing brothers. It's that the level of class needs to be better than what it is. We too old to be acting 15, men and women.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for chopping in, man. I got to take a test So let me go ahead and jump online and do that. And much love, you guys, man. Tune in, stay connected to the Alpha Male Wisdom channel. I am back on my 2006 Alpha Male Wisdom shit. Check out the other channels, which is Wild TV, Wild News, where we do sports and things like that. And also check out the Mr. Research Teaches Politics. That is very interesting. I'm on this whole Egyptian thing right now. Much love, you guys, man. Gotta go. Thank you, Jay Shine. Thank you, MOT. Thank you, people in the chat room. D. Thank you for the $40 donation. Appreciate that. That came through on the Cash App. Much love to you guys, man. Much applause. I hope we grow this to be better than what it has been from the 2013 crowd. All right. Peace, you guys.
All right.